everybody. Topic is man roles and woman roles. What I mean by that is we all have a set of rules that we are supposed to follow based off of our culture. Every culture has their own set of rules based off of our society. But for American society, men have very specific rules and women have very specific rules. And I'm going to lay some of those out for you. For men are supposed to be strong, they're supposed to be tough, they're not supposed to show any emotions. They are supposed to be the breadwinner, be productive. They're supposed to be the disciplinarian for kids, so they are supposed to work all day, and usually at like a physical labor type job, right? It's only fairly recently that men have gotten into other, or been socially accepted, I should say, not that they haven't gotten in, but been socially accepted into other professions such as nursing. They're more supposed to be labor jobs, hands-on jobs. So they work at the labor job and they come home and they're supposed to discipline the kid. They're supposed to play the sports with the kids, do the lawn work. The biggest ones that are harmful are the things about emotions, the things about they're supposed to have power and they're supposed to feel powerful, because that can lead to things like abuse. A man doesn't feel powerful at work, doesn't feel good, comes home and takes it out on the kids, the dog, the wife, and it's not a good way to cope, but it's easier than having to figure out what's wrong with us and deal with our problems. And then obviously not showing emotions and it not being okay to be vulnerable then is, if you look at the anger funnel video, a man stuffs all of his emotions and it comes out as anger, right? So these rules, if someone abides by all of these rules, it can lead to something called toxic masculinity, which means they are a kind of man that is always tough, but like what do I want to say? They're tough all the time, unwavering toughness. So they're tough constantly. They're constantly on edge. They're constantly like ready to fight, ready to lash out on somebody. You might know somebody like this. You don't want to say anything to them. Somebody would be afraid to ask them a question or challenge their authority, right? And they just kind of let the man do what they want then. This kind of man is abusive and maybe even has addiction problems. It can go bad really easily if someone follows these rules. The same for women can happen too. So a woman's rules are supposed to be that they are supposed to be a caretaker, nurturing, loving, there for any problem anybody has. If you come to them, they're supposed to help you fix your problem. And men fix problems too, but they're more like hands-on fixers. They're more like, if you break something, I'll fix it. A woman is supposed to help the emotional problems, right? They're supposed to coddle the kids when they're crying. They're supposed to be the mother figure, where it's that when you think of a mother, you think nurturing. They're supposed to take care of the kids and be the men do the disciplinary stuff and women do all of the household stuff for the kids. So they cook and clean for the kids, they nurse the kids, they pack the kids' school lunches. Women are also supposed to be put together more than, if there's a high expectation that women are supposed to be put together. You're supposed to leave the house and look very good and put together. So a focus on appearance, there's more of that. And quiet, passive. Women are supposed to be passive and not speak their mind, not challenge a man. They're supposed to be submissive to the man in the household. And I know these things you're probably thinking like, wow, these sound like the 1950s. This isn't how it is anymore. But it is still how it is. It might be stuff from the 1950s that seems ridiculous, and on paper it seems ridiculous, and maybe you think, oh, my household isn't like that. But if you look at your household, it probably still is similar to this. It might not be as extreme as this, and we're changing, we're getting better, but it's still alive and well, so watch out for it. And women are supposed to be below men, basically, right? That's a women's rules. So for women, it can lead to toxic issues too, with being too caring, being codependent, needing somebody that's broken or struggling to fix, feeling like we need to fix people. And if we don't have anyone to fix, or we're not fixing problems, we can feel like we don't have any self-esteem, right? If we don't look perfect, we can feel like we don't have self-esteem. If we don't meet these expectations, Other problems are that we still are expected to do the housework and such, but we also are not going to work. So we're going to work and doing household and taking care of the kids. So it feels like, or it can feel like, we're doing everything. And we can get overwhelmed by that easily. I've had a lot of women turn to meth because they feel so overwhelmed. They have to do everything and still wear lipstick, and look beautiful and all this stuff. So they get overwhelmed and stressed, and meth at first makes them feel like they can fill those roles, but then it eventually starts hurting those roles and it doesn't work, right? So just watch out for these rules and roles. If you feel like you're stuck in them, we can challenge them. You don't have to be the exact image of what a man is supposed to be, because those rules are very old. They're not current and they're very harmful. And you can be a man that's sensitive and caring and can cry when he's feeling sad. That is being a human being. Men are supposed to cry because they're human beings. Holding it in is not healthy, and that leads to a lot of problems in someone's life, including addiction. It can lead to wanting to escape with addiction. So work on these with us in therapy, right? These are things you could bring to your therapist and say, I want to change these things about myself. I don't like this about myself anymore. And look it up. Go look up online man and woman roles and see how much that they fit with you, okay?